Can you add a little more? And for me, I'm really trying to think about what the commonalities that are across these three industries that cause them to be a little bit different from some of the other industries.
Well, a couple things, and this, I thought, when we were reviewing sort of the findings, some of these are obvious, in particular on education. So if you think, okay, what is the non-fire threat out there now for workplace emergencies? Everyone would tell you it's, just given the nature of things right now, even though it's probably factually still a minimal risk, would be active shooter cases in education. So the idea that is being absorbed by those who work in the education space is not surprising to me. I think the gender breakdown is also very, very interesting, and that's important for employers or others who are planning emergency systems of communication, is that your employee pool is not all the same. Their perception of risk and their perception of what they would do may differ amongst a variety of different demographics. Male, female will probably be the most significant, but it also, you all have to think about it depending on what you do: immigrant, non-immigrant, racial minority, non-racial minority. I mean, these distinctions are going to play out, and so people have to be aware of them. But the one that's most significant, I have found in my work in advising, is the gender distinction. Women's perception of risk is higher. They feel threats more personally, and they feel threats to their family even more personally, and that skews the perception of risk even at the workplace, right? I mean, I'm not saying they're crazy or paranoid. I'm just saying their perception of the likelihood of their vulnerability is higher than men's. That could be that's a good and a bad thing. That could mean that engagement with that pool of employees, with female employees, may be easier, but it also may be that their sense of ownership or capability of doing something is lesser. We found that this is true across the board, the gender dynamics in terms of safety and security, which is historical, and who knows if it will change over time. So in terms of education, this makes the most sense to me. And then when we looked at the data on professional services, because a lot of them tend to be client-based, in other words, you're and sort of client-focused, their sort of sense of what has it, what are their obligations or what are their responsibilities to workplace and planning may be skewed downwards. In other words, that they're not perceiving themselves as part of a workforce because they're dealing potentially maybe outside of their workplace.